Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mag. So I hope you're all staying safe and well out there, and I'm coming at you today with some more Nufc news on transfers and also some more news, of course, talking about a new appointment to Newcastle United in the under-18s department, which we will talk about in the video. But before we get into all of the topics in today's video, I do want to do a shout out to Paul Gallant, a supporter of course, the channel and supporter of many NUFC channels here on YouTube and on social media platforms as well. He shows a lot of support to the NUFC community by going into different live chats and, of course, supporting us content creators. So a big shout out to Paul Gallant for that continued support, and hopefully, it will work out for Paul Gallant as well on his YouTube channel when he gets around to making that. And I wish him all the best of luck with his YouTube journey. So with that being said, let's get into the topics of today's video. We'll start off with the under-18 appointment, and that is, of course, the brother of Michael Carrick. Graham Carrick joined Newcastle United's under-18s as the coach of the under-18s, coming in, of course, from his work with the FA in their youth development. Yet again, another guy that's worked with the FA, like Dan Ashworth, facing, of course, some great challenges he has whilst working for the FA, and now he's going to adapt that experience to Newcastle United. And of course, Steve Harper, an icon for Newcastle United, talked about Graham Carrick as well as appointment to the under-18 role at Newcastle. And of course, he will be partnered up with, of course, Craig Moore as well, who's the under-18s assistant coach. So it's going to be a good partnership there for the future of Newcastle United moving forward. And in the previous video, I did talk about, of course, the Newcastle United owners, Amanda Stavely and Mida Gadassi, being down at Stamford Bridge. Now, a little bit more news has come out on that one. The reason that we're at Stamford Bridge is because of Clear Lake Capital, and of course, Jonathan Goldstein, who is an owner at Chelsea, invited them down to Stamford Bridge and on as well for a purchase. The Aman Group, who own a bunch of luxury hotels in the United States, Saudi Arabia, Canada. They pretty much own a whole bunch of luxury hotels all over the world. This could be something that could benefit the Northeast as well, as that was something that they were talking about in the run up to purchasing Newcastle United, that they wanted to build a big luxury hotel in Newcastle to compete with the likes of the Sandman Signature that is already around St James's Park. So that could be, again, more benefits for the Northeast region. And of course, there's a lot of people saying, that this could be a bad thing. The usual culprits trying to spin this to a sports washing phrase. It's nothing like that at all. They're trying to also spin it and say that, Newcastle owns shares in Chelsea. That's, again, nothing there. That isn't the case. It's just a joint partnership on purchasing a company called Amen Group, who own a bunch of luxury hotels all over the world. So, it's kind of obvious. We all know PIF, venture into these kind of deals a lot. They've got loads and loads of different business deals all over the world. At the end of the day, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, they've got their hands in a lot of deals, and a lot of big named companies are under the PIF banner for shares as well. So it's just a typical thing that we see. It's a business deal at the end of the day. There's nothing else to it other than that. But also, another reason that Amanda Stavely and Gadassi were there as well is to watch over some players that we have been linked to, like Christian Pulisic, also Callum Hudson-Odoi, Conor Gallagher as well. Three fantastic players that would do a job for Newcastle, that would improve the team. Personally, I think the price that Chelsea are asking for Conor Gallagher is a bit too much. It is the English tax that you're having to pay for. It is, of course, a Newcastle tax added on top of that as well. So it is something that, we have had to deal with a lot in this window. Clubs trying to charge over the means for players that haven't really hit the ground running yet. In my eyes, the two out of them three, I would really like to see join Newcastle United will be Pulisic. He's a consistent performer in the Premier League. He can do a job for it. And would he be an improvement over the likes of, Miggy? Would he be an improvement over the likes of Murphy, Fraser? Yes, because he's a consistent performer, so he would be a improvement over the likes of them three. Callum Hudson-Odoi, another player that I would like to see come to Newcastle United. Would he be an improvement in the team? Certainly. He would be an improvement. He would do a very good job for it. And of course, he was linked to Bayern Munich not that long ago as well. So if Bayern Munich want him, you know he's got to be good. But talking about the Graham Carrick information, of course, Graham Carrick did an interview with the club on his appointment as the under-18 coach, and of course he says the short-term aim is making sure to improve the programme for players and helping them to progress every day and every week, individually and collectively. He also says that he was absolutely delighted, saying that he'd worked part-time for the club 15 years ago and always hoped that he'd come back one day. Being from the area, of course, he understands the privilege and the responsibility of the job, and it's such a special club, so he can't wait to start the job. And of course, he said on the long term plan, it's striving to deliver a high quality program whilst contributing along with the rest of the staff towards making the academy better. And that's all that should be the priority, is making the academy better, looking towards the future of Newcastle United as the under 18s coach. That is his main focus, that should be his main role, is to make the academy better and get a lot more youngsters coming through the ranks. We want to see more players in the ilk of, Alan Shearer. We want to see players like Andy Carroll. We want to see players like the Longstaff brothers. We want to see more Elliot Andersons as well coming through the ranks in Newcastle United, because he has got a bright, bright future ahead of him. And I really do hope that, Elliot Anderson does stay with for this season. He doesn't go out on loan. I think it's perfect time to have him in and around the starting 11. Send him out on loan. You're only going to be able to send him out to a Championship club or League One club. He's already been, a League Two club, and I think now we need to be getting a little bit more experience out of him. We need to be seeing more like, Man City's done with Phil Foden. We need to see more of that from Newcastle. We need to see, Elliot Anderson getting the game time in and around the first team. That is the place for him. At the end of the day, he's not going to take a space up in the registered squad because he's under the age for that. So it's a win-win situation for us. It's a win-win situation for Eddie Howe as well on picking the team. So definitely Elliot Anderson's got to stay in and around that first team 11 for the foreseeable season. And moving on to, of course, the transfer news. Like I say, Christian Pulisic would be a player that I would really like to see join the club. There's talk of João Pedro from Watford. Now, Newcastle's already had a 20 million bid plus 3 million add-ons reportedly rejected. Now, it's coming from another media outlet, and that is Peter O'Rourke, who is saying that Newcastle are now ready to submit a new bid for the Watford forward, João Pedro, who is a Brazilian apparently, which would mean yet another Brazilian in the squad to go along the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton, which would be fantastic. It does help the fluidity of the team to be able to move forward if you have a few more people that can, speak the same language from the same area as well. But according to Peter O'Rourke, that Newcastle have now went in with a 25 million plus add-ons bid. In Watford's evaluation for João Pedro is supposedly £35 million. If that is a good deal or not, in my eyes, it's not really a great valuation when you consider that he's only scored 3 goals in the Premier League when he was with Watford in the Premier League. But Domesh of Sky Sports is saying that, of course, Newcastle United discussing internally whether to go back in with an improved offer for the Watford forward, João Pedro, or focus on other targets They have evaluations and won't overpay. Watford are under no pressure to sell Pedro, and of course he said that he had 3 years on his contract, but then he went and put another tweet out and corrected that and said it was 5 years left on Pedro's contract. So if that's the case, is the 35 million evaluation a good deal for a player that does still have 5 years left on his contract? But like I said, he's only scored 3 goals in the Premier League. So let us know your thoughts down in the comments below on that one. But the Watford boss, Rob Edwards, of course, was talking about João Pedro, and he says Pedro is a very talented player. And when you marry talent with hard work, you've got potential to be very special. And he has that potential in him. According to Rob Edwards, the Watford boss, he's saying that João Pedro does have the potential to be able to go to that next level. So, maybe is along the lines of he only scored 3 goals because he was playing for Watford last season, or does he not quite have that ability to be able to take it to the Premier League level that he would need to? And of course, we are wanting to look for players that can take it to even past the Premier League level as well, because we want to be playing, Champions League every single season. That is the aim of the new owners for Newcastle, being playing in the Champions League every season, competing in the Champions League every season. So we're going to need high quality players to be able to do that. Players in the ilk of Bruno, players in the ilk of, Sven Botman, Kieran Trippier, Joe Linton as well, who's turned around immensely since Eddie Howe's came in. He's really looking like an absolute beast in the midfield, which, I'm really happy for the lad that it has turned around, because it really wasn't great from when he first came in, and it was looking like he did end up having to move away, but he's been able to turn it around under Eddie Howe. He's looking like a complete and utter beast in the midfield, and it's going to be hopefully a bright future for Joe Linton. But there's my thoughts on João Pedro. Would you take him at 25 plus add-ons for the deal? That's what Peter O'Rourke's saying Newcastle's ready to submit. If that's true or not, let us know what you think down in the comments below. And as for Chelsea's midfielder Conor Gallagher, it says that Blues are unlikely to entertain anything until they bring in a midfielder of their own. Of course, their main target to bring in midfield is Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. And of course, they do have some pretty heavy competition for the signature of Frankie de Jong, as well as Man United are trying to get him. And we all know Ten Hag's there, so maybe that could sway the deal in Man United's favour on the Frankie de Jong one. But, hopefully Chelsea do get a midfielder in, because then that will open up the option for Conor Gallagher to move away from Stamford Bridge. If that is then to move to Newcastle United remains to be seen, but it's going to be an interesting one. Is of course the window shuts on the 1st of September. Currently recording this video on the 17th of August. And of course we do have the game against Manchester City as well coming up on the Sunday, I believe it is, we're playing on, or the Saturday, we're playing on against Manchester City. And, it's going to be an interesting game, that one, as we take on Manchester City. Of course, both teams at the moment currently unbeaten in the league, and it's going to be a very interesting game. There will be, of course, a match preview out for that one. It is, of course, a 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday, so it's going to be an interesting one, that one. But there will be a match preview out in the coming days for that game. But as for the news circulating around Newcastle United at the moment, the appointment of Graham Carrick, that is an absolutely fantastic appointment, especially when you consider what he's done, on the FA development side of things. And also, the news circulating around about Christian Pulisic, that Newcastle are trying to make a move for. Christian Pulisic, I would definitely take him. Like I say, he's a consistent performer in the Premier League, and he would do a fantastic job coming in. And I'd love to see Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. You can only loan one player from one club as well, so maybe we could loan one of them in and buy the other one, and maybe have an option to buy on the Christian Pulisic one if we did choose to loan Pulisic in, because we don't want to be going down the path that we've went down in the past, where we'll loan a player in, there isn't an option to buy in there to get the player, if he's done well at the club, and we end up having to send him back after all our hard work of getting him, performing amazing again. But Christian Pulisic is a consistent performer. He would be a great signing to see come to Newcastle, and I would definitely jump on an option of, a loan with an option to buy for Christian Pulisic, maybe then try and go in for Callum Hudson-Odoi on a permanent deal. That would be a great way of, filling up two spaces at once, filling, of course, that midfield up a little bit more, and of course helping in the wing as well with bringing in Christian Pulisic, because, like I say, he's a fantastic player. So it would be amazing to see him come, of course, Captain America to Newcastle United. Would be absolutely amazing. Let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel as well, you can by pressing the little thanks button below, by putting in a donation there. I believe the minimum donation, I think, is £2 or whatever the donation is on there. But if you want to do that, then you can do that. That would be really appreciated. And of course, I don't take any of the support for granted as well, shown towards the channel, and it's been fantastic support over the past 5 years as well. And keep an eye out as well, because there will be a competition giveaway where you end up with a fee, and of course I will be talking about that in more detail when I get that around to putting that video out. Until next time, I'll see you all later, and however that's